Okay. Here we are. On a Sunday morning. I hate springing a surprise Umineko stream like this. But I literally just got out of the shower. Looked at the clock. And I was like, honestly, I felt like, I kind of want to just read a couple more hours of Umineko. Like a fucking madman here. Like I said, I hate that I just kind of just... Especially even after I was like, oh, I'm gonna, Umineko next times will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And then I'm just, my dumbass wakes up on a Sunday morning. I'm like, you know what? I got a hankering for a couple hours of Umineko. Because I'm insane at this point, apparently. But that's where I'm at. So, unprepared. We're just going to read a couple hours. It's not going to be a ton. I don't plan on reading a shit ton here today. It's a little before noon on my part. But, I only want to go to, at most, like 2 o'clock or something. I have something going on in my schedule-wise this afternoon, so I can't be on a ton. I might be on later tonight, but that would just be Final Fantasy. If at all. If I'm on. I don't know. I don't know after this morning thing. It was just, I woke up, and I was thinking about Umineko, and then I got into the shower, and then I was like, man, we really left off at like a kind of pivotal moment. Like, listen to this tense music. So yeah, we're just gonna, and also the energy might seem low because I relatively just kind of woke up soonish, recently-ish. Goda and the rest of the men quickly descended to the first floor, closed the shutters, and secured the sturdy locks on the doors. However, just as Kraus had worried, there was nothing that could be done about the beautiful wide window in the first floor lounge. If someone broke that, it would be easy to get inside. It wouldn't be hard for someone like Kinzo, who hadn't hesitated at committing murder, to invade the first floor. It's likely that grandfather and his followers will be armed. Locking ourselves in our room is our best bet, and moreover our only method of forming a barricade. It's painful that we have no choice but to hole up in a sealed room, but our enemies are carrying guns, and that's the only method we have left to us. I've heard that the master has a collection of working guns. That's right, guns. That was a gun. If so, it must have been a horribly powerful gun. We can't contend with that at all. Takes a lot of force to smash someone's head open, right? So it might be a magnum bullet or something like that. That'd probably go through a flimsy door like it was nothing. If so, then that's even more of a reason to hold out in our room. Let's slide a bed in place and block the window too. If we do that much, then no matter how many guns they've got, they shouldn't be able to raid us. Crap. All we can do is this passive one-sided defense. Damn it. Dealing a finishing blow to Dad and even capturing Kairi. That's gonna cost you, you damn geezer.
無理です。あんな連中に太刀打ちできるわけがありません。
Impossible. There's no way we can compete with them.
しかも親方様だけでなく、手下も何人も。
Besides, it's not just the master. He has his underlings too.
あるいはあんな連中がもっといるかも。
There might even be more of them.
あいつらは一体何なんだ。
Just what are they? Battler was filled to the brim with the urge to get revenge for Rudolph, and to rush out of here to save Kairi. But just by looking at how terrified Gota was, there was no doubt in him that he would be reckless, that this would be reckless.
兄貴だって悔しいだろ。
It's gotta be hard on you too, right, Aniki?
なのにここで籠城なんて。くしゃ。
And yet, you've got to stay holed up here. Damn it.
もちろんさ。僕だって悔しいよ。
Of course, I'm torn up about it too.
両親を殺されて冷静でいられるわけがない。
It's not like I can remain calm with both of my parents murdered.
でもだからこそ冷静にならなくちゃいけない。
But specifically because of that, I have to remain calm.
僕たちが無駄に命を落とすようなことを殺された親たちが望むと思うかい？
Do you think our dead parents would want us to die in vain?
思うわけがない。
There's no way they would.
せめて子供だけは逃げ延びてほしいと願ってるはずだ。
They want for at least their children to escape.
だから僕は生き残るよ。
So I will survive.
そして警察に通報し全てを暴く。
And I'll report this to the police and uncover everything.
仇は法廷が取る。
I'll leave my enemies to the courts.
それが僕の復讐だ。
That is my revenge.
差し違えてでも仇を取ってほしいなんて親たちが望んでいるわけもない。
There's no way our parents would want us to die taking revenge for them.
そうだろう。
Right?
そうだな。
You're right.
兄貴の言う通りだぜ。
It's just as you say.
畜生クソじじいめ。何か儀式だ。
Damn it, you old bastard. What's this about a ceremony?
俺たちがそのための生贄だって言うなら意地でも逃げ切ってその儀式を台無しにしてやるぜ。
If we're supposed to be sacrificed or something like that, then we'll escape no matter what it takes, ruining this precious ritual of yours.
それでいいよ。
That's right.
それにバトラ君にはまだキリエさんがいる。
Besides, you still have Kairi-san, Battler-kun.
僕にだってシャノンがいる。
And I still have Shannon.
とにかく慎重に行動してチャンスを待とう。
Anyway, let's be cautious and wait for our chance.
僕たちの不用意な行動は囚われの彼らに不利益を与える可能性だってあるんだから。
Sorry, I had to check something there. Oh, okay. Any careless actions on our part might just end up causing harm to those who have been captured.
人質。
Hostages, huh?
でもじいさまはきっとキリエさんたちを生贄にするために捕らえたわけだろう。
But grandfather captured them so he could use them as sacrifices, right?
俺たちが助けなきゃ殺されるのを待つだけじゃないのか。
If we don't go and save them, then are we just waiting for them to get killed?
彼らが捕らえられている地下牢がどこにあるかもわからない。
We don't even know where the dungeon they're being held in is.
シャノンもカノン君ももちろんゴーダさんも熊沢さんも知らなかった。
Shannon and Kanon-kun didn't know about it. Shannon and Kanon-kun didn't know about it, and of course Goda-san and Kumasawa-san didn't know either.
おじいさまだけしか知らない秘密の場所にある可能性が極めて高い。
The possibility that they're in a secret location that only grandfather knows is incredibly high.
そんな状況下でうろうろと歩き回るのは自殺行為だよ。
Under these circumstances, aimlessly wandering about would be practically suicidal. Sunday miracle. That might be one way of putting it. Oh wait, what's this? Hey, yeah, Sunday miracle. Or I just woke up and then took a shower and like a madman was like hankering for more Umineko. That's also a possibility. I understand.
俺たちはここで何かが起こるまで引きこもってるしかねえってのかよ。
But still, damn it. Are you saying the only thing we can do is stay confined here until something happens? Also, you guys haven't missed anything. I mean, I literally just started, but it was literally just Battler and George being like, "Oh man, we have to stay bunkered in."
バトラ様のお気持ちはわかりますが、
we gotta stay alive because our parents wouldn't want to die in vain, basically. Something like that. Battler-sama, I understand how you feel, but
ここは安全第一で参りましょう。
let's put our safety first.
旦那様の話では相当古い牢屋らしいので。
From what Kraus-sama said, they seem to be in a fairly old cell.
なんとか鉄格子を破れるかもしれないとのことでした。
And they may be able to break the bars somehow.
今は信じて待つ方が賢明です。
The wise choice of action now is to believe in them and wait.
おじい様の手下が何人もいて、みんな武装しているんだよね。
Grandfather has a number of subordinates, and they're all armed, correct?
そうです。
Yes, he does.
そして多分
And they're probably
みんな武装を。
all armed. Goda had been able to say that Kinzo had comrades with him, but he hadn't been able to mention that they were mostly young women, like witches, who had used strange magic to murder. He didn't have the heart to tell them that he had a harem of anime babes committing the murders. If he had said that, it would only have cast doubt on his sanity. No, not only that, he himself still couldn't understand that he had seen, and was doubting his own sanity. But, regardless of sex or appearance, regardless of whether it was done with magic or a gun, the fact that those girls had followed Kinzo's orders, and killed 6 people in an instant, was an unshakable truth. If that group came to attack the guest house as well, what would happen? Just closing the doors and windows like this was surely meaningless. It was fruitless. These witches will get in no matter what. Goda and Kumasawa. The only thing left for those two who had witnessed that massacre in the dining hall was to cradle their heads without knowing how to interpret what they had seen.
Kumasawa-san, 大丈夫?
Kumasawa-san, are you okay?
お茶飲む?
Want some tea? No, Maria. I am not okay. But thanks for asking. Ho 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 ho.
ありがとうございますね。ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Thank you.
申し訳ございませんが、しばらくそっとしていただけますか。
I'm sorry, but may I be left with my thoughts for a little while? Maria tried to be nice, but it seemed that Kumasawa still hadn't been able to clear away her confusion.
マリア、気を使ってくれてありがとうだぜ。
Maria, thanks for being so considerate.
熊沢さんは休ませてやってくれ。
Let's let Kumasawa-san rest for now. Jessica was also worried about the shock those two must have received after witnessing such a tragedy. But her wildest dreams couldn't even come close to the unbelievable scene Kumasawa had witnessed. Nevertheless, with her mother murdered and her father captured, it wasn't as though Jessica would stay calm either. She sealed her anxiety and sadness using her anger towards Kinzo, and walked irritatedly around the room.
熊沢さん、
Kumasawa-san,
母さんは本当に
is Mom really
死んじゃったの？
dead?
ええ。
Yes.
あんなひどい死に方を私は見たことがありませんとも。
I've never seen such a horrible way to die before.
ひょっとするとまだ生きてて、
Is it possible that she's still alive?
手当てをすれば助かるなんてことは
And that if we fix her up,
ないんだよな。
we could save her? No, Jessica, you're failing to understand. Half of her head is gone. It's just been obliterated, apparently. There's no coming back from that. Don't make Kumasawa explain the details.
頭があんなことになって生きていられるわけがありません。
It's not possible for a person to have something like that done to their head and live.
そりゃそうだぜ。
Yeah, you're right.
頭が砕けちまったら
There's no need for first aid.
手当てなんて必要ねえよな。普通。
Once your head's smashed, usually. When Goda had come flying into the guest house, he had, overcome with agitation, told about the massacre in the dining hall without concealing anything, except for the part about witches and magic, which they themselves still couldn't believe. In other words, he hadn't even sugarcoated the cold-blooded way in which Natsui and the others had died. It was too late now, but Kumasawa regretted the fact that they'd obviously said too much. However, while lightly shaking her head and with a slightly painful laugh, Jessica spoke.
いや、むしろ話してくれたおかげで冷静になれたぜ。
Actually, thanks to what you told us, I was able to stay level-headed.
頭を砕かれちまったってところを伏せられてたら、
If you'd avoided mentioning the part about her head being smashed,
私はひょっとすると生きてるかもしれないって言って、
I would have thought she might still be alive.
屋敷へ向かいじい様にて食わして、ひょっとすると殺されてたかもしれない。
Then I would have run off towards the mansion, met grandfather, and I might have gotten killed.
一抹の希望が命取りになった可能性だってあるわけさ。
That sliver of hope could have been fatal in the end.
その意味では感謝してるよ。
Forgot I had to press the button there, so I'm grateful.
本当に申し訳ございません。
I'm truly sorry.
言葉をあまりに選ばなかったことはお詫びします。
I'm so sorry we didn't choose our words more carefully.
今はいいよ。
Don't worry about that now.
母さんはもうどうしようもないけど、父さんはまだ生きてる。
There's nothing we can do for Mom, but Dad's still alive.
カノン君もシャノンもキリエおばさんも南條先生もね。
Cannon-kun and Shannon, and Aunt Kyrie and Dr. Nanjo too.
なんとか彼らを助けたいし、彼らに負担をかけないためにも余計なことをするべきではない。
I want to save them somehow, so we shouldn't do anything unnecessary that might make things worse for them. Shut up, Jessica. You don't need to save Nanjo. We can spare one Nanjo for the rest of everyone. It's like the trolley problem. If there's a Nanjo on the tracks and then the rest of the family, would you switch the trolley so that it runs over Nanjo? Yes.
電話の前で待機してることが今は一番の協力になるかもしれないし。
The most helpful thing we can do right now might be to wait by the phone. They might receive a phone call asking them to create a diversion while the others escaped. Or the others might discover their location and call for rescue. Jessica understood that in order to act promptly when that time came, the only thing they could do for the time being was to wait in this room. Once they had finished inspecting the downstairs area and locking up, George, Battler, and Goda returned. Each was holding various objects. George had things like drinks, canned food, crackers, and other types of snacks he had found in the lounge and a storage room, as well as a first aid kit. They were all consumables that would be essential during a siege. Goda had a large folding ladder and carpentry tools. Those were to seal the door from the inside, just in case. If it came to it, the ladder was for escaping out the window. Battler had brought up objects that could be used as edged weapons or poles. Aw, yeah. Oh, hell yeah, equip. In addition to the obvious kitchen knife, there was a disassembled table leg that could be used as a club. I want the club. And a pole roughly the size of a person, which he'd apparently made by taking apart a hat stand. Even though the pole had no point, it could surely be used like a spear. I just like to think... I don't know. I know they're, like, just doing fucking whatever. They're just doing whatever they can. They're like, well, especially, I guess the kids don't even know exactly what the extent of the murders were. But, like, at some point, it feels like they're doing a disservice, like Goda is doing a disservice not explaining that it was, like, a magical power. Because you're gonna be like, oh, that's cool. You got some sticks and a knife. Okay, well, these bunny girls have magic. Also, hello. Welcome to Surprise Umineko. A surprise to everyone. There was a good chance that their enemies had guns, so it was dubious whether they would be of any use. But it was still better than not having them. And if having these could give them at least a little peace of mind, then they'd be useful for their calming effect. Then, the bed and sofa were placed up against the door, barricading it. They didn't go so far as to seal it up with nails. There's still a chance that Kraus and the others would escape and come to meet up with them. They had apparently set up a barricade at the top of the stairs as well. It had been set up in a way that that would create a racket, so it would serve as a warning alarm as well. That had apparently been Battler's idea. For that reason, they turned the TV off. This way, if the first floor window were to be broken, they would hear. Once the switch had been turned, all that was left was an eerie silence. The sound of violent wind and rain. Were they going to have to spend the whole night being crushed by such suspense? The boat would come tomorrow morning. However, judging by the weather report, most of tomorrow was going to be covered in the typhoon, and the boat probably wouldn't come. The typhoon was set to pass by in the morning of the day after tomorrow. In other words, the boat would be arriving in the morning after next, the morning of October 6th. And right now, it was late at night on October 4th. They would have to spend more than 30 hours on this island, with Kinzo turned cold-blooded murderer and his weird companions prowling about. Even with the shutters closed, there would definitely be a little bit of light seeping out. It might let the enemy know that they were hiding here. Battler suggested that it might be best to turn off the lights. But they had already been overwhelmed by a ghastly feeling just from turning the TV off. There wasn't anyone who directly challenged his proposal, but then again, there wasn't a single other person who agreed with it. We can't watch TV? No, Maria. Yeah, sorry, but you'll have to bear with it. We can't just let the sound of the enemy breaking in slip by. I know, Maria's like, really? No TV? Oh, fuck. Boring. Even though she had been told of her mother's death, Maria alone didn't feel an approaching sense of danger. Maria does not give a single shit. She just seemed to be upset that the TV had been turned off. Even though she's in such a bizarre situation, can she not share in our sense of danger? Is it because she's so young? To Battler, even this faintly unsettling feeling from such a young girl made him sense that there was something very eerie about Maria. You still need to watch the VOD from yesterday's parts when you fell asleep. Oh, how was the Maria rampage on Rosa? Oh, that was exhilarating, is the word I would use. It was heavy. Is I think a word used in chat at the time, and I agree with. I was just saying a lot of things like I think the main thing I had pointed out was like it was crazy that like 2 or 3 streams ago it was Maria chastising Angie, being like, yeah, even though my mom sucks and you're trying to tell me my mom sucks, like I look for the good parts of it and that's how I hold on to being happy. And then like 2 or 3 streams later, Maria's just like fucking losing it and taking it all out on her mom. Like it had to have been a lot for Maria to just go ham. Do people still say that? Go ham? That's a phrase. Alright, back in the cells. That said, we've already done all we can. You still say it goes ham? I just feel like, God, was it back when I was in like high school? A lot of people that I didn't know if that was like a thing. I didn't know if that was like a regional Florida thing where like everyone in high school was like, oh, he's going ham. I just didn't know if that was a, a widely used thing at all. That said, we've already done all we can.
鉄格子はなんとかなりそう？
Do you think we'll be able to do anything about the bars? You'll be able to do anything about the bars?
残念だが想像以上に堅牢だ。
Unfortunately, they're tougher than expected.
いつ頃に作られたものか知らんが耐用年数も文句なし。
I don't know when these were made, but there's no problem with their lifetime guarantee.
実に優良な物件だよ。
These truly were built rather well. Kyrie chuckled softly. They had no moves they could make. She had calmed just a little.
さながらここは取られた駒を置く駒置き場ですな。
This place is just like the capture pile of a chess game.
打つ手はもはやありませんか。
So, are there no remaining moves left for to us?
まだよ。
Not yet.
諦めるには早いわ。
It's still too early to give up.
思考の停止は鼓動の停止に同じよ。
If we stop thinking, we might as well stop breathing, right? God damn it. God bless Kyrie. Honestly, fucking thank Christ she's here. Dude, she level-headed. She is the leader we always needed. She's this group. I'm gonna say it. This group in the cells, fucking sad sacks. Just a group of just the misfit toys here in the cell, and we have Kyrie being like, all right, guys, we're gonna work. Let's not give up. Keep morale high. God. I don't trust Nanjo as far as I can throw him. Nanjo, honestly, I think in this group would be the first one to just be resigned to the fact that they're dying. He's the type of person that answers like, how do you survive a zombie apocalypse? With the answer like, oh, I would just sacrifice myself immediately. Like, I don't want to have to deal with it. Like, he's that type of person. He's lived, I assume, a pretty good life. I think we saw yesterday when he was willing to fight and stand up against Kinzo. Partly you could say that, oh, that's good on him because he obviously has this bond to Kinzo. Long-standing friendship or whatever. But also, I'm of the mindset where it's like, Nanjo's just like, I'm willing to potentially sacrifice my safety for the, you know... car horn outside. I mean, it was brave of Kinzo, but also I just feel like he's like the one who'd just be like, I'm too old for this shit. Ham is hard as a motherfucker and was popularized by Watch the Throne. Oh yeah, dude, God, I haven't thought about that in forever, but yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
チェスの駒置き場に意味はないが、将棋ならば大きな意味を持つこともある。
Squarely puts that in those high school years. Oh, high school. Okay, exactly. Chess pieces in the capture pile may serve no purpose, but in shogi, they can be quite significant.
駒置き場の一枚の歩が相手にプレッシャーを与えることだってあるはずだ。
Just one captured pawn should be able to put pressure on the opponent.
なるほど。
I see.
しかし、この鉄格子はどうしようも。
But still, there's nothing that can be done about these bars.
私たちにはね。
For us, maybe.
でも、ここの場所を特定し、ゴーダさんに連絡することができれば、助けに来てもらうことはできるかも。
But if we can figure out where this is and contact Goda-san, he might be able to come and save us.
なるほど。
I see.
しかし、ゴーダさんに危険を強いることになりますな。
But that would mean putting Goda-san in danger.
その場合、成人男性が不在になるゲストハウスのお子さんたちも不安です。
And if that happens, I would also be worried about the children in the guest house, alone without a full-grown adult male.
リスクを恐れるなら、事態が好転するまで塩漬けにするのも悪くない。
When you're afraid of risk, it's alright to bide your time until the price starts to go up.
もっとも、損切りを恐れれば、 紙切れ同然になるかもしれんがね。
However, if you're too afraid to cut your losses, you might end up with just a scrap of paper. Dude, I was gonna say the same thing, and then I held back just because I was like gonna progress with this story. But like, I was gonna say, as far as like, Nanjo brings it up as like, oh, you know, adult males, as far as like physicality and stuff, like, oh, but I don't know. I trust George and Battler enough. I mean, I would trust the duo of George and Battler more than I would trust most of the adult males in this game. Like, I get he's kind, but I would trust them over Hideyoshi as far as producing in the adult male role. I'd put the duo of them over Rudolph for sure. There's a lot of adult males that I would put George plus Battler over. Also, I hate to say this, but we've been teased now with apparently a forthcoming, like, interview with Kinzo and the kids. And so now it just feels like we're waiting for that to happen, because I assume that's going to be a fun scene. And now I'm just like anticipation is just building for like this Kinzo versus the kids interview thing. Kraus would hand feed most of these kids. Though in this case, that represents our lives.
親の子犬もね。
And our dignity as parents, right?
私たちで何とかするからおとなしくしていなさいって偉そうに電話して、その下の根も乾かないうちに助けを求めるなんて。
Kraus actually tried to stand up to Kinzo in the dining hall. Kinda, sorta. He did fail. Yeah, I guess. We'll give him a shred of credit. After talking big like that during the telephone call, telling them that they should have behaved because we'll manage something on our own. Can't just start asking for help right away.
実に格好悪いわね。
That would be very uncool.
この後に及んではくだらんプライドなどとっくに紙切れだ。
By this point, I've long since thrown out such useless pride.
知恵を絞ろうじゃないか。
Why don't we put our heads together?
ここはどこなんだ。
Where is this?
本当に食堂の真下なのだろうか。
Is it really underneath the dining hall?
それとも屋敷とは異なる別の場所だろうか。
Or else, is it a different place, separate from the mansion? Oh, I was... now we're just getting all my random weird past thoughts. This is what happens on Sunday morning streams. About Umineko. If I would have read Umineko like 10 years ago or something, many years ago, I don't know, when was the full completed Umineko? I don't know how long the full thing has been out, but like, if I had read Umineko years ago and was like digging it like this, I would have been like, try to find like a group of friends to go to a convention and try to do like, even not like great cosplay, and I think I've talked about cosplay in this game, like I've never seen cosplay of Umineko stuff out in the wild, but I would have tried to get as many people as I could and just do like a huge group cosplay of Umineko characters. 2012, 2010, that sounds about right. I would have done it. It should have been Umineko instead of Homestuck. It should have been! I don't want to see all the trolls. I want to see the Umineko characters. Or else, is it a different place separate from the mansion? Kraus, Kairi, and Nanjo began to discuss this further. I know, there's so many characters in Umineko, and we're not even technically halfway through. What if the, I don't think this is going to be the case, but what if the Answers arc just introduced as many characters as we've gotten in the Questions arc? We're dealing with a roster possibly soon in like the triple digits, hopefully. Cannon was squatting by the bars, silently trying to sense anyone's presence, just as he had been ordered. Shannon came close to him, and they both squatted down together.
気配は感じるの？
Do you sense anyone? Yes.
こちらに意識は向けていないけれど、比較的近くに誰かいる。
They haven't focused their attention in this direction, but there's somebody relatively close by.
それは人間？
Is it human?
ヤギたちだと思う。
I think it's the goats.
あ
Oh,
い
it's
つ
the
らの吐息は
goats.
実に
The
賑やかだよ。
goats! Their breathing is rather noisy. Cannon's ability to sense the presence of others was several levels above that of a human. He said that their breathing was noisy, but Kraus and the rest couldn't even pick up the slightest hint of it. Therefore, if he had obediently reported it, they would have merely doubted Cannon's ears.
捕まっちゃったね。
They got us, didn't they?
珍しいよ。
It's rare.
殺されないで捕まるなんて。
To think that they captured us without killing us.
今回はベアトリーチェ様がお越しにならないし、
This time, Pietro-sama didn't make an appearance,
親方様が書斎を出られるし、
and the master left to study. So another instance of where it's they're fully aware of the past instances. Right? This may be a fact that we've already established before, or maybe was hinted at. But she's bringing up the fact that she's like, oh, this time it's been different. Like, we're kept alive. Beatrice, we didn't see her. Kinzo left. Strange.
何が何だかわかんないね。
I don't have a clue what's going on.
わかるさ。
I know. Like, it must be mentally draining. If this keeps happening and you're, like, present of it, like, say one thing about, like, the Ishimiya, like, people, like, they're, like, at least seemingly to them, it's, like, a new experience each time to them. But these fucking fools have to deal with this every time, and they're like, oh, here we go again. Maybe or maybe not dying each time. Rough. Ken says I know.
何が起ころうと変わろうと、すべてあの魔女の気まぐれと余興。
Whatever happens or changes, it's all for that which is fickle entertainment.
結果は何も変わらないのさ。
In the end, nothing will change.
今回は黄金鏡に行けるかな。
I wonder if we'll be able to go to the Golden Land this time.
さあね。
Who knows?
僕たちは脱落率が高いから。
We have a high rate of losing.
そういえば、二人で第一の番を生き延びたのってずいぶん珍しいね。
Come to think of it, it's very rare for us to survive the first twilight together.
儀式が始まってるのに、こうして二人でお話できるなんて、なんだかすごく珍しい気がする。
I get the feeling that it's incredibly unusual for us to be able to talk together like this, even though the ceremony has already begun.
そうかもね。
That may be.
でも、それもまた魔女の余興だろうさ。
But even that's just for the witch's entertainment, I'll bet.
僕たちがいつもすぐに脱落するから、今度は少し生き延びさせて、からかってやろうくらいにしか思ってないよ。
I can't think of it as anything other than her letting us live just a little longer to ridicule us, since we usually drop out right in the beginning.
また黄金鏡にはたどり着けないのかな。
I wonder if we'll be unable to reach the Golden Land again.
どうせそうさ。
I'm sure we won't make it there.
下手な期待を持つと、またつけ込まれる。
If we hold on to any foolish hope, we'll get taken advantage of again. Giggle.
そうだね。
That's right.
前回はカノン君がつけ込まれたもんね。
Last time, you got taken advantage of, didn't you?
僕はバカだ。
I'm an idiot. Cannon made a sour look and turned his head. Shannon laughed softly and apologetically leaned towards his shoulder.
でも、お嬢様が無事でよかったね。
But I'm glad my lady is safe.
第一の番を逃れただけさ。
She's only escaped from the first twilight.
それ以降の番に、より無残な方法で殺されるのを待たされているだけかもしれない。
She might just be waiting for an even crueler death later on.
それを言ったら姉さんこそ、
What about you, Nissan?
ジョージ様が無事でよかったじゃないか。
Aren't you glad George-sama's safe?
二人で黄金鏡にたどり着けるといいね。
It'd be nice if you two could reach the Golden Land together.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
同じことをカノン君とお嬢様にも。
I wish the same for you and Milady as well. Fat chance.
僕は期待はしてないよ。
I wasn't hoping for anything like that.
姉さんの言う通りだ。
It's just as you say.
あの魔女はご褒美をぶら下げて相手が右往左往するのを見て楽しんでるだけなんだ。
The witch is only having fun dangling prizes in front of people and watching them vainly try to get them.
どうせ誰も黄金鏡に行けやしない。
I'm sure no one will be able to go to the Golden Land.
僕がお嬢様と黄金鏡にたどり着きたいと願ってしまったなら、
If I wish to reach the Golden Land with Milady,
あいつはそれこそ面白がって絶対に僕たちをたどり着かせたりはしないさ。
then that person will find it funny and will certainly never let us reach that place.
そうだね。
You're right. They need to start employing the reverse psychology tactic. I surely would not love to go to the Golden Land with George. Please, anything but that. I mean, might as well try.
ベアトリーチェ様はより面白くなるように生贄の順番を考えてる。
Beatrice-sama is thinking about which order of sacrifices will be the most interesting.
無作為に選んでるなんて大嘘だ。
The whole thing about them being chosen at random is just a blatant lie.
あのペテン師魔女め。
That swindling witch.
どうせ黄金鏡にたどり着けばあらゆる願いが叶うなんてのも嘘っぱちに決まってる。
All that about having any wish you want granted in the Golden Land is probably just a lie, too.
そんなことはないよ。
That's not true.
黄金鏡は素晴らしいところだよ。
The Golden Land is a wonderful place.
行ったことあるの？
Have you been there?
ちょっぴりだけね。
Only for a little bit.
それすらもベアトリーチェ様の戯れだったのだろうけど。
Though, even that was probably just a joke of Beatrice-sama's.
どんなとこなの？そこ。
What's it like there?
うん。
Well,
素晴らしいところだよ。
it's a wonderful place.
うまく説明できない。
I can't really explain it well.
安らかな夢の中みたいな世界。
It's like a world from a pleasant dream.
バラが咲き乱れてて美しい蝶が舞ってるような極楽みたいな感じ。
A paradise-like place with roses blooming all over and beautiful butterflies dancing about, or something like that.
そういう具体的なイメージのところじゃないの。
It's not a place with a tangible image like that.
本当に夢の中みたいなところなの。
It's really like the inside of a dream.
そこにいるときはとても穏やかで安らかで。
When you're there, your family... No, when you're there, it's very gentle, very peaceful.
いつまでも眠ってることを許されてる。まるで休日の早朝のお布団の中みたいな感じ。
And you're allowed to sleep as long as you want. Like when you wake up early on a day off, lying on a futon.
カーテンの隙間から日が差してきて、そろそろ起きないとと思うんだけど。
Sunlight comes in through the cracks in the curtains, and you think you'll have to wake up soon.
今日は休日だから起きなくてもいいんだって気づいて、もう一回お布団の中に潜り込む時みたいな、そんな気持ちになれる場所。
But when you realize it's your day off, and you can go back to sleep, it's a place where you can feel like that.
僕なら損したと思うな。
I think it'd be wasted on me.
休日なのに勘違いして起き出すなんて姉さんくらいだ。
Waking up on accident even though it's your day off is something only you would do, Nissan.
それで
So?
うん。
Well,
そこにいた時はね、満たされてて、とても穏やかだった。
when I was there, it was very satisfying and very calm.
でも、元の世界に戻ってくると、つい直前までそこにいたはずなのに、うまく思い出すことができないの。
When I returned to this world, even though I'd just been there a second ago, I couldn't remember it well.
ついさっきまで見ていた夢が思い出せないのによく似てる。
It's like when you can't remember a dream you were just having.
でも、とっても穏やかで、静かな世界だったことだけは覚えてるの。
but I still remember that it was a very calm and quiet world.
それだけ？
That's it?
なんだ。あいつが偉そうに言う黄金鏡なんて大したことないな。
What the heck? That Golden Land she's always bragging about isn't anything great at all.
何でも願いが叶う場所だと思ってたのに。
I thought it was a place where all your wishes come true.
その通りだよ。
That's right.
何でも願いが叶う場所。
It's a place where all your wishes will be granted.
少し違うかもしれない。
Well, maybe that's not quite it.
何も願わなくてもいい場所が正解かもしれないね。
It might be better to say it's a place where you won't wish for anything.
例えばカノン君が寒くて上着が欲しいと願った時、上着をもらえればとても幸せなことだけど。
For example, Ken-kun, if you were cold and wished you had a jacket, you'd be happy to be given one.
そもそも暖かい部屋にいられたなら上着が欲しいなんて願う必要さえもないでしょ。
But if you were in a warm room to begin with, there wouldn't even be a reason to want a jacket, right?
黄金鏡はそういうところなの。
That's what the Golden Land is like.
大抵の願いは願う必要さえなくなる。
There's no need to even wish for most wishes.
すべてから解放された何もかもが穏やかな世界なの。
It's a world where everything is calm.
与えられて幸せという概念さえも超越したすべてから解放された世界とでも言えばいいのかな。
You could even say it's a place that transcends the concept that having your wishes granted will bring happiness, a world released from everything. Dots.
なんだか宗教っぽい世界だな。
It sounds somewhat like a religious world.
そしてそこではすべてが平等なの。
And there, everything is equal.
意志ある存在はすべてが平等。
Anything that can think is equal.
人間も家具も魔女もない。
There are no humans, furniture, nor witches.
そこでの私は誰とも対等で公平。
There, I was equal to everyone.
もう家具だからと何も自分を恥じる必要がない。
There was no longer any need to feel ashamed that I was furniture.
すべての人間ともそして魔女とさえ対等な本当に幸せな世界だったの。
It was honestly a happy world where all humans, and even witches, were equal.
うまく思い出せないけど
I can't really remember it well,
そこでは私ベアトリーチェ様とさえ対等な関係で良い友達でいられた気がする。
but I have the feeling that when I was there, I was equal even to Beatrice-sama, and we were good friends.
あの魔女がいるならろくな理想郷じゃないよ。
If that witch is there, it can't be much of a paradise.
で、その幸せな黄金鏡に姉さんはジョージ様と一緒に行きたいわけだ。
So, you want to go to that Golden Land with George-sama?
おかしな話だね。
How strange.
黄金鏡は全てが満ち足りた理想郷なわけでしょ。
Is this a shot at George? The Golden Land is a utopia where you can be pleased with everything, right?
ジョージ様がいなくても十分に満たされてそうだけど。
Wouldn't you be content even if George-sama wasn't there? I guess not so much a shot at him.
黄金鏡はねとても穏やかで安らかで全てが対等で公平だけれど
The Golden Land is very calm, peaceful, and everything is equal.
幸せだけ実は抜けてるの。
But actually, happiness alone is left out.
幸せな世界じゃないの？
It isn't a happy world?
もちろん安らかで穏やかで公平というだけですごい幸せな世界だよ。
Of course, just by being peaceful, calm, and equal, it's an incredibly happy world.
でもそれは例えるなら全ての悩みというマイナスから解放されたゼロの世界なの。
But I guess you could say that it's a world of zero, where you're released from all negative worries. Canon is not understanding these abstract words and terms. He's like, what the hell are you going on about, Shannon?
人の世はマイナスで満ちてるからもちろんゼロというのはものすごい幸福なわけだけどそれでもゼロなの。
The human world is filled with negatives, so of course the zero world is incredibly happy, but it's still zero.
贅沢だよね。
Giggle. What a luxurious problem to have.
それはこういう感じ。
It's something like this.
穏やかな休日の朝のまどろみの時、
When you're nodding off on your quiet holiday morning,
最愛の人も隣にいてくれて手を握っててくれたなら、もっともっと素敵な幸せになれるみたいな。
if the person you love the most is next to you and holding your hand, then it can become an even greater, more wonderful happiness. Something like that.
ごめん、姉さんは例えが下手くそだね。バカだから。
Sorry, your Nissan is too dumb to be any good at analogies.
つまり
In other words,
姉さんにとっての最高の幸せとは、ジョージ様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことってわけだ。
to you, the greatest happiness would be reaching that world together with George Lama? Yes.
そしてきっとカノン君にとってはお嬢様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことだよ。
And surely for you, it would be reaching that world together with Milady.
公平な世界で二人は悩みから解放され、
We'll be released from our worries in a fair world.
なんだかおかしな宗教を吹き込まれてるみたいだ。
It's like some kind of strange religion.
僕はもっとこう俗物的な
I'm more worldly minded.
魔法の薬を与えられると人間に生まれ変われるとか、そういう感じの世界を想像してたよ。
I imagined a world where we would be given some magic medicine, and we could be reborn as humans, or something more like that.
行けばわかるよ。
If you go, you'll understand.
ベアトリーチェ様が本当に気まぐれな方なら、いつかきっとカノン君にも垣間見させてくれるに違いない。
If Beatrice-sama really is a fickle person, then surely someday she'll let you get a glimpse of it too.
そうすれば姉さんの例えがよくわかるようになるから。
If so, then you'll be able to understand my analogy.
ま、過剰な期待はしないことにしとくよ。
Well, I'm not holding my breath.
いずれにせよ、今回の僕たちはこれでゲームオーバーみたいだし、
At any rate, seems like game over for us this time already.
別の機会に期待するさ。
I'll hope for another chance.
そうだね。
You're right.
おかしな期待を持つとベアトリーチェ様にまたつけ込まれる。
If we cling to any overambitious hopes, Beatrice-sama will take advantage of us.
何も考えずただ運命に身を任せるのが
It might,
私たちには一番かもしれない。
it might be best to just stop thinking and let fate take care of us.
僕たちはただチェスの駒であればいいんだ。
We can just be simple chess pieces.
何を考えても考えなくても、どうせ魔女のチェス盤からは逃れられない。
No matter what we think or don't think, we can't escape from the witch's chessboard.
後のお役目はどういびり殺されるか、ただ待つことだけさ。
Our role is now just to wait and see how we'll be tortured to death.
そんな僕らに黄金鏡の夢なんて虚しすぎる。
For us, the dream of the Golden Land is too empty.
そうだね。
You're right.
ごめん。
Sorry. Kenan shrugged his shoulders, then told Shannon to leave him alone because she was in the way of his duty, distancing himself from her. Realizing her thoughtlessness in bringing up such an inappropriate topic and instead hurting Cannon, Shannon bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. Shannon wouldn't bother him anymore. She went off and crouched down in a corner by herself. At that moment, Cannon perked up. It was like the ears of a cat when it reacts to a strange sound.
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
旦那様、誰か来ます。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sound the alarm. Crouch, Selma. Someone's coming.
何？
What? They ended their conversation and strained their ears. For a while, they couldn't hear anything, but eventually they were able to hear the shuffling sounds of a large group of people walking.
おいでなすったわね。
they're just like sitting. I just imagine like this large cell and they're all just kind of like in little corners. Just so they've come.
年貢の納め時かさもなくも最初で最後のチャンスか。
Time to pay the piper, or perhaps this is our first and last chance.
私が金蔵さんと話しましょう。
I shall talk to Kinzo-san.
なんとかここの場所を聞き出してみます。
I will try to somehow find out where this place is.
期待してるわ。
We're counting on you. Oh my god. Nanjo. Oh man, Nanjo being tasked with possibly the most important role in his whole life right now. He's gonna choke. He's gonna choke. The lights are too bright for him. The lights are too bright. 100%. I'm saying Nanjo does not accomplish his goal here. During the last phone call, Kairi had asked what the time over at the guest house was. By doing that, Kairi had learned that it was the same as her watch, and she had learned that their watches hadn't been set back. It wasn't just the clocks on the walls in the guest house. Several people's watches, including George's and Goda's, had matched. If that was the case, then it had only been a few minutes between the time of the massacre in the dining hall and the time they had been transported to the dungeon. Not enough time had passed for them to be knocked out and carried away. Then were those really pitfalls, meaning that this was the area directly under the dining hall? All that they could do was pray that Nanjo could find out where this was.
来ます。
They're coming.
多分人数は4人。
There's probably 4 people?
親方様、並びに食堂に姿を現したうちの3人かと。
The master, and 3 of those who appeared in the dining hall.
もう十分だ。
That's enough.
君も後ろに下がりたまえ。
You come back here as well.
あとは私たちで応対する。
We'll deal with the rest.
シャノンちゃん、申し訳ないけど電話のところに座ってもらえる？
Shannon-chan, sorry, but can I have you sit by the phone?
スカートで電話を隠して。
Hide it with your skirt. Hide the phone with your skirt? Okay. I guess that's maybe doable. At first I was like, what? But she got that big poofy like maid skirt that she can just kind of like just I just imagine like I just imagine her like awkwardly like trying to hide it, and then like Kinzo comes in, he's like, why are you standing like that? And she's just like, nothing, and she's just like kind of like awkwardly like everyone else is like at the bars at the thing, and then she's like awkwardly just by herself. Yes. The shuffling came close, and there was a sound of a large door being opened in the hallway. The light they were apparently carrying illuminated the hall, stroking the walls with sharp, razor-like shadows. And then, the light from the lantern they held illuminated the prisoners through the bars. The bar's sharp shadows divided them up lengthwise. There were 4 silhouettes. It was Kinzo, Renove, Virgilia, and Gap. Oh, look at this! Look at this advanced tech, putting the sprite behind the bars like that to make it look realistically. Oh my god. Silence, everyone. Please, welcome the head of the Ishimiya family, Lord Goldsmith.
ゴールドスミス？
Goldsmith?
親父殿のペンネームだ。
Its father's pen name.
怪しげな魔導書を書くとき、そういう名を署名しているようだ。
Seems he always signs with it when writing those bizarre grimoires.
金蔵を英語風に？
Kinzo made English style?
それならゴールドウェアハウスが正しいんじゃないの？
Shouldn't that be Gold Warehouse? Oh, we got a little translation joke. Oh, he likes the joke too.
ウェアハウスは倉庫、ただ溜め込むに過ぎぬ。
What more is a warehouse than a place to keep things in?
しかし私は金を生み出し、細工し、さらに価値を高めるのだ。
However, I give birth to gold and use my craftsmanship to further increase its worth.
スミスの方がよりふさわしいと思わんかね？
Don't you think Smith is much more fitting?
確かに。
True enough.
無駄口を失礼しました。
Those eyes behind those bars. True enough, I apologize for butting in.
金蔵さん、
Kinzo-san,
これはどういうことなんだね。
just what is going on?
ここは一体どこなんだ？
Where in the world is this? Wow, he's asking the question immediately. He wasted no time. He's like, Kinzo, I have a question I must ask you. Where are we? Please. Oh, my friend. Can't you remember?
さすがにその牢の中に入った経験はないだろうが、この廊下を歩いた記憶はあるはずだ。
True, you may have never entered the prison, but you should remember walking through this corridor. Huh? Huh?
まさか。
You don't mean...
心当たりがあるの？
Do you have an idea?
いや、しかし、考えられない。
But, well, it is unthinkable.
第一、私たちは落とし穴に落ち、しかもほんの数分でここに閉じ込められたのですぞ。
Firstly, we fell through a pitfall and were locked up in here after only a few minutes.
そんなことは物理的に、距離的にありえない。
Not only is the distance too great, that's physically impossible.
人間にはね。
Fucking gap. Alright, so it wasn't just a fever dream I was having last night. This is actually her character design. There was a small part of me that was like, did I just last night, did I just dream that this was Gap's design? No, it's still here. For a human, right? Laugh. Also, I still can't get over the name Gap. It's just very funny to me. The double A just kills me. Father, is this the mansion? To think that the mansion had a basement like this? Gross.
お前たちがその存在をささやき、何度か私の後をつけ回して探ろうともしたではないか。
Wasn't there a place whose existence you all whispered of, and which you followed after me several times trying to find?
それがここだよ。
This is that place.
いや、正確にはそこの地下というべきか。
No, to be correct, this is its basement.
まさかここはクワドリアンの
Could this place be the basement
地下ですか？
of Kuadorian? Sure.
ご見察の通りです。
A splendid observation.
こちらはクワドリアンの地下でございます。
This is indeed the basement of Kuadorian.
クワドリアン
Kuadorian.
まさか噂の親父殿の隠し屋敷なのか？
You don't mean Father's rumored hidden mansion?
本当に実在したのか？
It really exists?
我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェのためだけに築いた屋敷である。
This mansion was constructed for the sole use of my beloved witch, Beatrice.
地上部分は美しき上品な屋敷なのであるが、そこを案内できず、実に残念に思うぞ。
It's truly a shame that I cannot guide you to the above-ground sections, as it is such a beautiful and elegant mansion.
こんな牢屋があるお屋敷で二人きりなんて素敵ね。
How lovely, just the two of them alone in a mansion with a prison like this.
どうもお父様とは性癖が合わないみたいよ。
I guess Father's tastes are a bit more than I can stomach.
キリエさん、
Kairi-san,
無礼な発言はお控えになった方が賢明ですよ。
perhaps it would be wiser to refrain from such rude comments. Laugh.
でも同感よ。
But I agree.
私も送られた屋敷にこんな力があったら
If a mansion I was given had this kind of dungeon in it,
100年の恋も冷めて金目のものだけいただいてとんずらするわ。
that'd shake me out of even a century-long love, and I'd taken anything of value and run.
おや、そういうご趣味はございませんか。
Oh my. So you don't have any interest in this kind of thing?
てっきりキュンキュンしちゃうとばかり。
And here I was thinking you went head over heels for it.
もちろんキュンキュンしちゃうわよ。
Of course I go head over heels.
誕生日のプレゼントに 首輪なんかもらっちゃったりしたらね。
Like if I get a collar or something for a birthday present. Okay.
ただしイケメンに限る。
But only if he's hot. Boom. Oh, pew. Oh, Gap, you silly. You're so
お
silly.
静かに。
Silence.
首輪より猿靴輪が必要ですか？
Perhaps you could use a gag more than a collar right now.
あら、あなたはそっちもいけちゃうの？
Oh, you have an interest in that too?
リアって好き嫌いないのね。
You sure aren't picky, Leah. Giggle.
勝手に人の名前を略さないでください。
Don't just go around shortening people's names on your own.
やかましいぞ女たち。
Enough, you noisy women.
お前たちも同じ牢に閉じ込められたいというのか。
Are you telling me you'd like to be locked up in the same cell?
これは失礼いたしました、親方様。
I apologize, Master.
この牢体にこのような寒い牢獄では身が持ちません。
This old body of mine would not be able to stand such a cold prison. Virgilia quickly apologized, but Gap and Renove merely laughed together. It was like they thought they alone couldn't be imprisoned. Or else, that even if someone tried to imprison them, it would be pointless.
牢とは捕らえ逃がさぬこと。
A prison is a place from which the captured cannot escape.
それはすなわち生涯手放さぬとの強い意志と愛である。
That implies a strong will and love to not let them go for a lifetime.
逃げても諦められる程度の女ならば愛を語るに値しない。
It's not even worth speaking of love to a woman you could give up on. She ran away.
鎖で縛ってでも逃がしたくないと思うほどに苦しくなる女。
A woman who makes you so insane that you don't want to let her escape, to the point of binding her in chains.
そこまでに至ってこそ我が生涯を捧げるに値する愛である。
Because she was worthy of that, she was a love worth sacrificing my love for.
お前にそれを分かれとは言わぬよ。
I will not ask you to understand.
私は誰にも縛れない。
No.
縛られない。
No one can bind me. I will not be bound.
愛されたいんじゃないの。愛したいの。
I don't want to be loved. I want to love.
私もゴールドスミスと同じよ。
I feel the same as Goldsmith.
だからよくわかるわ。あなたの愛の狂気。
That's why I understand the madness of your love.
愛と狂気は紙一重というわけかね。
Love and madness are two sides of the same coin, or so they say.
実に旗迷惑な話だ。
How bothersome.
しかしあっさり所在地が分かったのは大きいわ。
But learning where we are so easily was a big step.
詳しい経緯は後で聞くけど、南條先生はここをご存知なのね。
We'll ask the details later, but it seems you know about this place, right, Dr. Nanjo?
はい。
Yes.
そこの廊下がクアドリアンの地下通路ならば。
If that hallway is the underground passage beneath Koadorian,
あの先をまっすぐ行けば長い地下道になり、
then if we go straight down it, it'll become a long tunnel.
それをずっと歩けば屋敷に戻れるはずだ。
And if we stay on that, we should be able to return to the mansion.
この鉄格子さえなんとかできれば屋敷に帰れるってことね。
I assume they gotta be whispering this to each other, right? They're not just saying this out loud. Then if we could just do something about these bars, we could go home.
お父さん、
Father,
私たちをどうするつもりですか？
what are you planning to do with us?
すでに宣告した通り、お前たちは後の晩のための生贄である。
As I have already declared, you will become sacrifices for the later twilights.
都合よく人数も5人。
There are conveniently 5 people here.
えぐりて殺す5人の人質にぴったりであろう。
Exactly enough hostages for the 5 groupings.
なるほど。
I see.
私たちも 年貢の納め時というわけですか。
Then it's time for us to pay the piper?
やがてはな。
Eventually.
だが今はそのために訪れたのではない。安心せよ。
That's not why I've come to visit you this time, so relax.
それに言ったはずだ。
Besides, I believe I've said it already.
もしも孫たちの誰かが我が全てを継承するにふさわしいと認められたなら、この儀式は中断する。
If one of my grandchildren is deemed suitable to inherit everything from me, then the ceremony will be called off. Wait, so what they need to do then is get on the phone and just put all their backing and hopes and beliefs into one of the kids. Pick the kid you think has the most promise and just be like, all right, you need to just nail this interview spectacularly. If the people in the cage, these rats in the cage, want to stay alive, they have to be like, all right, one of our kids needs to just nail this fucking thing and become the successor. No more of the squabbling between them being like, oh, my kid's the best. No, my kid's the best. It just needs to be a full concerted push and effort to promoting one of these kids.
つまり、お前たちは命拾いをするというわけだ。
Interview like your fucking life depends on it. Literally. In other words, your lives will be spared.
お子さんたちに何をするつもりですか?
Would either Kraus or Kyrie pick their children, or anyone picking Maria? Not anything. I think they probably would not pick Maria just because they would be like, she's too young. And I think mistakenly, they would be like, oh, she's too young and she doesn't have a way with words, or whatever the interview was like. Although Kinzo probably looks at Maria and is like, hey, she's got this magical affinity to her. I honestly think... See, the thing is, they're so hard-headed. I think Kraus would back his daughter. I think Kyrie would really try to, like, spin it. We're just getting back to the original thing where they all were trying to say how great their own children were. But I think Kyrie would be like, no, I know Battler. So back Battler. George seems like the obvious choice. George is easily the most put together and would be like the best, I would think, as like a successor. If it was like in the most traditional sense, right? He seems like he has his life put together. What are you planning to do with the children?
次期当主にふさわしいかどうか。
I shall give them a test. Oh, a test. Oh, that's even better than just a straight up interview. Just a test. A test to see if they're suitable to be the successor or not.
その結果、私をうならせる者が一人でもいたならば、儀式は中断する。
If even one of them can surprise me, I'll call the ceremony off.
ふさわしい者がいなかったら。
And if there isn't anyone suitable?
子供たちはどうするつもりですか?
What are you planning on doing with the children?
それを心配する必要はない。
There's no need to worry about that.
どうせ先に生贄とされるのはお前たちだ。
After all, you will all be sacrificed first.
その後のことなど知ったことではなかろうに。
How could anything that happens after that concern you?
お前たちは自らの命運を自らの子供たちに委ねるのだ。
Entrust your fates to your own children.
お前たちが生み、教え、育ててきた結晶が子供たちだ。
The embodiment of what you've born, taught, and raised.
お前たちの命運を委ねるに実にふさわしい存在のはず。
They should be the most suitable ones for you to entrust with your fate.
そう心配そうな顔をするなよ、クラウス。
Don't look so worried, Kraus.
お前の自慢の100億の価値のある娘を信じろよ。
Believe in the daughter that you brag is worth 10 billion yen. Oh.
まったくね。
Exactly.
子供は親の結晶よ。
Children are the embodiment of their parents.
親の命運を預けるにふさわしいわ。
It's fitting that we put our fates in their hands.
お父様にとってもね。
That applies even to you, father, right? Oh, damn. Got him. Got him. Damn, she basically said, oh, you always talk about how disappointed you are in all your kids. But we learned it from you, Dad. We learned it from you.
肝の据わった女だ。ルドルフにはもったいない。
This girl has guts. What a waste on Rudolph. Wow.
キリエさん、あまり挑発しない方がいい。
Kairi-san, it'd be best not to aggravate him too much.
同感だ。
I agree.
今は耐えよ。
Let's bear with it for now.
そうね。
That's right.
どうせ私たちはまな板の上の恋よ。
After all, we're just fish on the chopping board.
今さら何もできやしない。
There's nothing we can do now.
私に対し威勢のいい口を叩くことはできるがな。
Huh. That you can insult me with such vigor.
嫌いではないぞ。そういう女は。
I don't dislike that kind of woman, see?
ベアトリーチェも初めはそういう女だった。
Beatrice was like that too, in the beginning.
親方様、
Master,
そろそろ本題を。
perhaps we should get back to the main topic.
さっきから脱線しまくりです。
We've been off track for a while now.
おお、そうであったな。すまぬすまぬ我が友よ。
Ah, yes. There was that. Sorry, my friend.
それでは本題に入ろう。
Well then, back to the main event.
そのために電話を用意しておいたのだ。
For that, I've prepared a phone.
シャノン、知恵が回るな。
Oh, the fuck, they've been caught. Shannon, how clever of you.
もう隠さなくてもよいぞ。
You don't have to hide it any longer.
それは私が用意させたのだ。
That's something I arranged for.
失礼いたしました。
Shen's like, I was told to do this. My apologies. Shannon quickly withdrew herself, and the telephone was revealed.
クラウスよ。
Kraus!
ゲストハウスの孫たちに電話をかけるがよい。
Call the grandchildren in the guest house.
そして我がテストを、試練の始まりを彼らに告げるのだ。
Tell them of the test, and of the start of my trial. Renove motioned for Kraus to pick up the receiver.
嫌だと。
And if I say no?
ほほう。取引の余地がどこにあるというのか。
And why do you think you're in a position to negotiate?
お前が電話をせぬというなら、孫たちにはチャンスさえも与えぬ。
If you don't make the call, then the grandchildren won't even be given a chance.
後ろ宮家はこれにて終わり。
The Ushiromiya family will end here.
お前たちは直ちに生贄だ。
And I'll sacrifice you all right away.
直ちに生贄なら幸運よ。
You'd be lucky to become sacrifices right away.
あなたたちの眼前で子供たちを先に生贄にされた方が辛いと思うけれど。
Don't you think it'd be more painful to watch the children get sacrificed first, before your very eyes?
が、
Yeah.
生贄の順番は親方様が決めます。
The master is the one who decides the sacrifice order.
勝手なことを言わないように。
Don't say things on your own.
リア、今私の名前を縮めようとして
God, they love to
つまっ
squabble.
たでしょ。
Leah, you just tried to shorten my name, didn't you?
してません。
I did not.
だから勝手に人の名前を略さないように。
And I told you not to shorten other people's names on your own.
女は実に
Women truly are.
かしましいですな。
Noisy? It's so funny. Oh, it's so funny. Women. Oh shit. 12 years later. Oh, we're back in the future Angie times. Alright, let's go for just a little bit longer here. The clinic that Nanjo had opened and later passed on to his son still existed on Nijima. This aged doctor was Nanjo's son, but the atmosphere about him was very different. Ah, young Nanjo. We got a new character, young Nanjo. Young Sheldon. Nanjo Masayuki. Nanjo's son inherited the Nanjo clinic. Unlike Nanjo, he seems to be a more sobered, indifferent person. After the rampage surrounding Rokinjima, he grew to completely despise the press, and he never spoke again of what happened around that time. He once had a daughter afflicted with an incurable disease, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to live out her natural lifespan. Yeah, he's got a decent sprite posture pose here. I am truly sorry to say this after you've come all this way, but I have nothing in particular to tell you. Nanjo's son said that very indifferently. After the accident on that island was taken up by the broadcast in a most indiscreet manner, even my father, who was Mr. Ishiromiya's doctor and friend, was focused upon by many with a wholly regrettable interest. All of it was without proof, and they even managed to defile all of my father's previous achievements. Something about, I have a sick granddaughter, please don't kill me. Oh yeah, that was a thing that happened. Damn. Damn, if only I liked Nanjo just a little bit more, I would feel something. I'm joking. It's very sad for Nanjo. I still feel a great deal of resentment because of that. I think that's understandable. The same thing happened to me. I had to put it up with it constantly since I was 6. True. My apologies. The doctor finally remembered that Angie was also a victim who had been exposed to the same curious eyes as he had been. In that case, you can probably understand why I don't want to have anything to do with that incident. That was an unfortunate accident. The only ones who want to make a fuss about it being a crime are those irresponsible TV shows and magazines. I am more than fed up with their attitude. Nanjo had been bathed with attention for being one of Ishiromiya Kinzo's new friends. Because of that, there's probably an aggressive and persistent rush among the witch hunters and the press to use Nanjo's son as well, a surviving relative, as a source of information. The doctor went on and on, criticizing the press indignantly. I really understand how you feel. For a person like me, who is observed even in her personal life, and whose privacy, likeness, and even human rights might have been violated, It's really easy to pick up on the anger of someone in your position.
だからこそ私の人生をここまで台無しにしたあの事件は一体何だったのかどうしても知りたいのです。
And for that reason, I want to know more than anything else what in the world happened in the incident that was so thoroughly ruined my life.
それでここへ来ました。
So I came here.
私もあなたと同じ当事者です。
I'm a related party just like you.
雑誌記者でもインタビュアーでもありません。
Not a magazine columnist or an interviewer.
そこを誤解しないでください。
Please, don't get the wrong idea.
私は道楽でこんなところまで来たんじゃない。
I didn't come do this for fun.
私を見下すのもいい加減にしてください。
Quit looking down on me.
あの事件で狂わされた人生の傷跡比べをするならば、
If we're
私とあなたでは比べ物にもならない。
If we're gonna argue over whose life was most screwed up by that incident, you're no match for me. Angie spoke sharply. The doctor, who hadn't imagined that he'd be talked back to in such a forceful manner, couldn't help but fall silent. From Angie's perspective, the doctor really was whining over nothing. She really didn't want to be looked down upon. It was about time to let him understand how many days had passed for her before arriving on this island. The doctor realized that he'd said something wrong and remained silent for a while, looking uncomfortable.
当時のことを思い出すのは苦痛でしょうが、ご存知のことがあったら何でも教えてください。
I know it's probably painful to remember what happened at the time, but if there's anything you do know, please tell me no matter what it is.
もちろん口外はしません。
Of course, I'll keep quiet about it.
私は私の人生に決着をつけるために今日ここへ訪れています。
I visited here today to bring some resolution to my life.
私は18です。
I'm 18.
あの事件は私の人生の12年を奪った。
That incident took away 12 years of my life,
そしてこれからも奪い続けるでしょう。
and I'll probably keep on taking.
私は6歳のあの日からずっと暗闇に放り込まれたままなんです。
Since that day when I was 6 years old, I've remained shut away in darkness.
そんな私でも知る権利がないとおっしゃるんですか？
Are you saying that despite that, I still don't have a right to know?
いや、失敬。
No, how rude of me.
たちの悪い連中ばかりが来ていたので、私もつい身構えてしまったようです。
Seems that since all the others who came were ill-natured folk, I instinctively put up my guard.
失敬したのをお詫びします。
I apologize for my rudeness.
わかりました。
I understand.
他言無用を誓っていただけるなら何でもお話しします。
If you'll swear not to breathe a word of this to anyone, I'll tell you everything.
ありがとう先生。
Thanks, Doctor.
ではお願いします。
Then if you would,
何でも結構です。話してください。
please tell me anything you can.
知っての通り、父は後ろ宮市の主治医であると同時にチェスを通じた友人同士でもありました。
As you know, my father was not only Mr. Ishimiya's head physician, but his friend through the game of chess.
その信仰は後ろ宮市が六軒島に移り住んできた当時からのとても長いものでした。
That relationship was very long, stretching back to the time Mr. Ishimiya moved to Rokenjima.
どのくらい仲が良かったのですか？
Just how close were they?
相当だったようです。
Very close, it seems.
チェスの縁で先方の屋敷に厄介になることも少なくなかったようです。
It seems that their connection through chess led my father to stay at Mr. Ishimiya's mansion quite often.
私の口から言うのもなんだが、後ろ宮氏は非常に気難しい方でした。
Although I may not be one to talk, Mr. Ishimiya was extremely moody.
そして父はそんな人間と付き合うのに長けた非常におおらかな人だった。
And my father was an exceedingly magnanimous man who excelled at interacting with humans like him.
孤独な後ろ宮氏にとって稀な友人であったことは想像に難しくないでしょう。
It's not hard to imagine that he was a rare friend for the isolated Mr. Ishimiya.
当日は親族会議でした。
That day was the day of the family conference.
後ろ宮家の親族会議は資産やその運用などについて厳しく問われる。
At the Ishimiya family conference, the inheritance and how it would be distributed were rigorously discussed,
さながら経営会議のようなものだったとされています。
making it almost like a financial conference.
そのような席にまで出席を求められるほどに南條先生は信頼を得ていたわけですね。
Which means Dr. Nanjo must have gained a trust so great that he was asked to attend even that, right?
父は純朴な医師であり、
My father was a simple doctor.
後宮家のような富豪の財産運用について助言できるような立場にあったとは思いません。
So I cannot imagine that he was in a position to advise on the distribution of wealth for a massively rich family like the Ishimiya family.
おそらく当時の後宮氏は健康状態が優れられなかったでしょうから、その買い添えとして呼ばれていたのでしょう。
He was most likely called there to assist with Mr. Ishimiya's health because it was not at its best at the time.
親友の父ならおそらく口も固く、親族会議上の秘密もきっと漏らさないと信頼されていたに違いない。
As Kinzo's close friend, I'm sure my father would have kept his mouth shut, and that he was trusted not to leak the secrets of the family conference.
当時の後宮金蔵はかなり健康状態が悪かったのでしょうか。
Wasn't Ishimiya Kinzo in very bad health at the time?
カルテが残っていたりはしますか？
Were there any medical charts left behind?
事故の当日はカルテを持参していたのでしょう。
Perhaps he brought the medical charts with him on the day of the accident.
後宮氏のカルテは残念ながらフォルダごと失われています。
I'm afraid to say that the entire folder of Mr. Ishimiya's medical charts have been lost.
父のクラン家ですし、私も詳しいことはわかりません。
He was my father's patient, so I do not know the details.
事件の前後、
Around the time of the incident,
何か気になるようなことはありました？
did anything strange happen?
あるにはあります。
Yes, there was one thing.
ですが、非常に誤解を招きそうなので、あまり言いたくはありません。
However, it seems exceedingly likely to invite misunderstandings, so I very much do not wish to discuss it.
何ですか？
What is it?
それを教えてください。
Please tell me. For a while, Doctor beat around the bush. But after saying that much, he wouldn't be able to fool Angie by dodging the subject. Yeah, I know. It's very much the, oh, this thing you really want to know, but I can't tell you. And it's like, alright, well, you already did so well at not discussing it. I mean, fucking anything when you were originally like, I can't say anything. I'm so upset. She got that out of you. He eventually gave in, and after making Angie swear herself to secrecy again, told her,
実はあの事故の数日後に私の自宅に郵便が届いたのです。
The truth is, several days after that accident, I received something by mail at my home.
郵便？
By mail?
それはとても奇妙な郵便でした。
It was very curious.
差出人が私になっているのですが、それは身に覚えのないものでした。
The sender was made out to be me, but I had no memory of it.
何者かが私の名を語って出したということです。
Someone had faked my name and sent it.
宛先は北海道の礼文島。
The destination was Ribun Island in Hokkaido.
北方領土の話を抜きにすれば、日本の最北端の島です。
Excluding the northern territories, it is at the northernmost tip of Japan.
その宛先人がなんと礼文島の住所ではありますが、
The recipient was apparently a resident on Ribun Island, but
父の名前だったのです。
the name was my father's.
しかし、送付先住所が間違っているらしく、住所不明の付箋が貼られて、
However, it seemed that there was a problem with the destination address, so it was stamped as address unknown,
差出人である私のところへ戻ってきたわけです。
and returned to the sender, me. It was truly a strange tale. Nanjo's son's name was written as the sender. However, he said that he hadn't mailed the letter. In short, that meant someone had faked his name and sent it. The destination was Nanjo Terumasa on Hokkaido's Ribun Island, but the lot number written on it didn't exist. So the local post office had been unable to deliver it and instead sent it back to the sender, Nanjo's son.
中身は何だったんですか？
What was inside?
本当に他言無用でお願いします。
I do ask that you keep silent about this.
私も非常に迷惑しているんです。
It is extremely troublesome to me as well.
かといって捨てるわけにもいかず。
And even so, I cannot throw it away. The doctor stood up and faced a bookshelf. There was packed a group of dictionaries that could only have been ornamental. meant to make it very clear that the owner was an intellectual. When he pulled several volumes out from there, a large brown envelope peeked out from behind. He took that out and tossed it onto the desk. It had been carefully sealed with a cellophane tape. And its faded color and dryness made it clear that it had been sealed 12 years ago. I ask most solemnly for your silence on this matter. God, this guy's just a leaky faucet. He loves to tell you. He loves to beg and ask, please don't spread this information. But he'll give it up easily. Being so persistent that it was annoying, the doctor removed the seal with a paper knife. Then, when he tilted the envelope, an already opened mail envelope spilled out. The envelope had a weight to it, hinting that there was something other than a letter inside. The recipient was certainly Nanjo Terumasa. Just seeing that was a huge shock. Following that incident, Nanjo's corpse had not been found, and he had eventually been treated as dead after going missing under extraordinary circumstances. And despite that, this letter addressed to a Nanjo in Hokkaido existed. One could almost take this as a sign that he had faked his own death and escaped to Hokkaido.
Nanjo sensei wa hontou ni Hokkaido ni sonzai o?
Was Dr. Nanjo really in Hokkaido?
あるいは同姓同名の人物が北海道に?
Or else, was there another person with the same first and last names in Hokkaido?
父が何かの事情で事故を逃れ、北海道で存命していたのだとしたら、
If my father had somehow escaped from the accident and lived on in Hokkaido,
私たち家族にとっては事情に関わらず嬉しいことです。
that would have made us, of his family, very happy, regardless of the circumstances.
私も初めはその可能性を考えました。
I also thought of that possibility at first.
しかし、この封筒の送付先住所は存在しないのです。
However, the envelope's destination address does not exist.
つまりこの封筒は届くはずのない郵便なのです。
In short, this envelope was mail that had no way of reaching him.
送付者が正しい住所を書き損じた可能性は?
Is there a possibility that the sender miswrote the correct address?
もちろん否定はできません。
Of course, I cannot deny it.
ですが、住所の番地を見る限り、どうもそうは思えないのです。
However, judging from the residence's house number, I find that hard to believe. I mean, I think it's obvious at this point. The person didn't want to try to get it to his father. Whoever wrote this letter was trying to just get it to Nanjo's son. Come on now. Come on now.
北海道
At least that's what I'm thinking. Hokkaido.
礼文島
Ribon Island.
礼文郡
Ribon County.
礼文町
Ribon City.
1-2-3-4-5-6-7
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up until Ribon City, it's fine. But I just couldn't wipe away the feeling that the sequential number after it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, was a little insincere. Felt like a fake number that some kid had made up. A kid, you say? They probably wrote a nonsense number that clearly didn't exist.
この封筒は初めから存在せず届くはずのない住所に送付されたと考えるのが自然だと思います。
I think it's natural to assume that, from the very beginning, this envelope was sent to a non-existent residence to which it had no chance of being delivered. If the destination address doesn't exist, mail is generally returned to the sender. But even in the case of an incomplete address, the local post office will often courteously, to the best of its ability, research to find whether the sender's intended destination exists. When they still can't find it, the mail is sometimes returned after an investigation of several days. It seemed that the same thing had happened with this envelope, and the stamp was postmarked on October 3rd. I don't know if Nanjo is saying this or not, but we're just going to go. It was postmarked on Nijima. Nijima was a long way away from Ribon Island. I keep wanting to say Reuben Island. On top of that, the destination was also nonsensical. It had taken more than a week for the mail to be returned. In other words, there's probably a high chance that having the envelope returned to the sender after an unfixed amount of time had been the goal from the very beginning. Why do something like that? Even before asking what it was that had been sent, this envelope was already wrapped in mystery.
中身は?
And inside it?
どうぞ。
Go ahead. After getting the doctor's permission, I tilted the already opened envelope. From the inside came a small, folded letter, and a small key with a number plate attached. Then, a magnetic card slid out. A112. A112 was engraved on the key's number plate. I didn't know what it meant. The magnetic card was pitch black and had gold characters engraved in it. Members was written in English. The jet black gold lettered card design made it feel like something very high class. But of course, I didn't have a clue what kind of card it was just from that. I unfolded the letter. Its contents were extremely brief, and only the following was written. 07151129. We've seen those numbers before. Also written was the name of a certain massive bank known throughout Japan, as well as the words Central Branch. That was all. And this is?
貸金庫のカードと鍵、そして暗証番号でした。
It's a card, a key, and a pin for a safe deposit box.
それも普通の貸金庫ではない。
And it wasn't a normal safe deposit box either.
特別な顧客のみに許されているらしい不気味な貸金庫でした。
It was an unsettling one, which was apparently reserved only for special clients. After he finished putting his affairs in order following his father's funeral, he had visited the bank. Pin and key and card. There was no doubt that something of great importance was kept there, and he had been naturally curious about what it might be. At first, he hadn't known what to do. The card wasn't something he'd owned in the first place. When he mustered up his courage and showed the card to a bank clerk, he was then switched to a clerk of clearly high status, and was guided to a large vault on the 4th basement. The security on the way there was strict. The doctor had himself stored valuable items such as real estate transcripts and safe deposit boxes before, but this was something on a whole different level.
私の使っている貸金庫の手続きと違い。
Why am I just thinking it's gonna be like the head of Kinzo or something? It's just gonna be like a like straight up Disney vault, like Walt Disney's head type situation. Unlike the procedure at the deposit box I had been using.
カードと暗証番号、そして鍵を持っているならば、本人確認は行われないというシステムでした。
Like that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like a cryogenic frozen head of someone. Maybe it's Nanjo. Maybe it's Kinzo. I could see Kinzo doing something like that. With this system, as long as you had a card, a pin, and a key, you didn't need to have your identity confirmed.
ですが、とにかく厳重な金庫室で、その物々しさに怯えました。
But anyway, I was frightened at how imposing that secure vault was. No! I just thought of it. It's not gonna be his head. It's gonna be his foot with like 6 toes on it or whatever the fuck what the situation was. It's gonna be his many-toed foot. Just a severed foot. Just to display. And young Nanjo here is gonna walk in and just be like, what the hell am I looking at? But anyway, I was frightened at how imposing that secure vault was.
こんなところに預けざるを得ない、どんな物騒なものが待ち受けているのかと。
You just walk in with like a petrified foot like on a little pedestal thing, and he's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I wondered what kind of shady objects might await me that had to be stored in a place like this. And then?
カードをリーダーに通すと、暗証番号の入力を求められました。
When I passed the card through the reader, I was asked to input the PIN.
そしてそこにある8桁の数字を入力すると認証され、金庫室への入室が認められました。
And after that 8-digit number was input and authenticated, I was permitted access to the vault.
すごい光景でしたよ。
It was an incredible scene.
まるで SF 映画のような世界だった。
A world like something from a sci-fi movie.
薄暗い銀色の広大な部屋に、びっしりと金庫の扉が埋め尽くされているのです。
The massive, dimly lit silver room was covered with doors to safes. He had entered that room along with the clerk. It seems that as soon as a card was read, the vaults he had a right to were determined, so that safes he could open were lit with a green light, while those he couldn't open were lit with a red one.
A11 にはそれらの金庫のうちの一つを示すものでした。
A112 was one of those safes that were marked.
ちなみに それ以外の金庫にもずらりと緑ランプが点灯していました。
By the way, there are several other safes marked with a green lamp besides that one.
20個以上はあったと思います。
I think there were at least 20.
あるいは他の一角にももっとあったのかも。
There might even be more. There might even have been more in the other corner.
いずれにせよ、私の鍵は A11 にのみ。
In any event, I only had the key to A112.
他の金庫の中身を確かめる術はありませんでしたが。
I had no way of checking the contents of the other safes. As the clerk watched, the doctor had unlocked and opened the safe. Is it just gonna be gold? When he did, a safe drawer like a large cabinet had opened, and an expensive-looking Duralumin case. Oh, Duralumin. Okay. Case peeked out. I was like, what is that fucking word? That was carried into a separate room, where for the first time, the clerk left, and he was introduced to the contents.
中身は
And the contents were?
現金でした。
Cash.
現金
Cash?
どれほど
How much?
新札の100万円の束はちょうど厚みが1センチになると聞いたことがあります。
I have heard that a pack of 1 million yen in fresh banknotes is precisely 1 centimeter thick.
それがこれだけのジュラルミンケースの中にびっしり詰められていたのですから。
Since those were packed tightly into a Duralumin case of such a size,
多分1億はあったでしょう。
there's probably 100 million in total?
数えたわけではないからわかりません。
I don't know, because I didn't count.
手すら触れませんでしたから。
I didn't even touch it with my hands.
私はすぐに直感しました。
I realized at once
これは危険な金だと。
this was dangerous money. It isn't normal to store a whole 100 million yen in cash in a case in a safe like that. It's much easier to deal with it if you put it into an account and turn it into numbers. When someone is unable to do it, then it's clear that there's something wrong with that cash.
私は頭が真っ白になり、すぐに関わり合ってはならないと直感しました。
My mind went blank, and I instantly realized that I mustn't get involved.
それで一切手をつけなかった。
So, you didn't use it at all?
はい。
Correct. I don't know. This is like one of those philosophical questions where if you run into like a briefcase of a ton of cash, just like on the street something, do you just take it and be like, okay? I don't know. If I was young Nanjo here, I'd be like, well, for one reason or another, I was deemed worthy of this cash. Thank you much, whoever, for looking out for me. Correct.
そのまま施錠し直し、元の金庫に預けて立ち去りました。
I locked it back up just as I'd found it, returned it to the original safe, and left.
この鍵やカードも捨てようと思いましたが、何が起こるかわからない。
I've thought about throwing away that key and card, but I don't know what will happen.
そのため、誰にも内緒で12年もの間、本棚の裏に隠し続けてきたのです。
For that reason, I've been hiding in the back of this bookcase for a full 12 years.
あれが何の金だったのか、私にも未だにわかりません。
I still do not know what kind of money that was.
この封筒をお借りすることはできますか？
Could I borrow this envelope?
いえ、
No.
この場で見るだけにしてください。
Please, just view it here.
わかりました。
Understood.
では、ちょっと失礼します。
Then, if you'll excuse me,
調べ物を。
there's something I want to investigate. I took Oni-chan's grimoire from the knapsack I had set down, and I opened up the page with the paragraph Beatrice had written to Oni-chan and compared the handwriting on both. There was no mistake about the characteristic handwriting. The one who had sent this 100 million yen in cash was Beatrice herself. But what is it? Something's bugging me. What is it? What could it be? Who is that? Yeah.
そんな郵便物が確か届いた気がしますわ。
I'm pretty sure I got something like that in the mail.
母ちゃん、あれはどこにしまったっけな?
Is this a Kumasawa relative? Hey Ma, where'd you put that? The same envelope and contents had been sent to Kumasawa's son. I could tell. A similar face. Who had once lived with her. Oh, we got an entry on this man. Look at this guy. Kumasawa Sawakichi. Kumasawa's son works at the Nijima fishing harbor. He must have gotten his carefree, big-hearted personality from Kumasawa. Many of Kumasawa's sons are fishermen, so they're often away from land for their work. This one happens to work at the harbor, so it was only coincidence that I managed to get in touch with him. Kumasawa loved to talk, so I did hope he might have heard her let something... So I did hope he might have heard her let something slip, but... Mackerel too. God damn it. The same envelope and contents had been sent to Kumasawa's son, who had once lived with her. But he had been very busy in the days since, and seemed to have forgotten about it while running around all over the place. However, strange contents had apparently stayed in his memory, and he remembered as soon as Angie mentioned it to him. After a bit of a wait, his thin-lipped wife. What the fuck is this? Why would you call her that? What is this? That's not a normal thing to describe someone as, right? Maybe I'm just thinking it's weird. But his thin-lipped wife found the envelope, complaining that he always forgot where he put things right away. That thin-lipped woman! The modus operandi for the sender and recipient was the same as Nanjo's son. The sender was made out to be Kumasawa's son, and the recipient was Kumasawa Chiyo. And the destination address was in the Okinawa Prefecture. Okinawa Prefecture, Yaeyama County, Yonaguni City, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yonaguni Island was at the westernmost tip of Japan, and the lot name was the exact same sequential number that had apparently been chosen without much care. Now it was certain. This envelope was definitely sent with the goal of having it be returned to the sender. Its contents were exactly the same. A letter with the pin and the bank's main branch written on it. A magnetic card. A key with an attached number plate. The inscription on the number plate was A113. The number right after the one on the key that had been sent to Nanjo. Most likely inside the vault was the same kind of duralumin case packed with 100 million yen in cash. I get the feeling my dead mother sent it to me from beyond the grave. Don't really get what's inside, and it's creepy, so I just left it alone all this time. I totally forgot about it until today. Damn it, I was literally just about to say that this... Nothing against him, but it looks like I was gonna guess that he had taken the money. But I guess not. So, you know what this is, girl? Could it be that the same kind of thing came to your place? What is it, Angie-sama? Fuck off! What, we need to bring in the cheerleaders here? Angie has one moment, and then the cheerleaders come in and are like, oh, what's wrong, Angie? Uryu? Is it a headache? A headache? Sorry, my head hurts. I've got it. I know. What do you mean you know? You don't mean... This envelope came to your place too, Angie-sama. I've remembered. A strange envelope was also sent to me 12 years ago. After losing my entire family, I was depressed. But it was a really strange thing to come in the mail, so I still had a faint memory of it. Oh my god. It's like Yushiro Miya, like, second class. Like, I imagine, like a show reboot. You know, like, I don't know why my brain's going this, but let's say you have a very successful show, scripted or not, maybe a reality show or something, and it's the Yushiro Miya family and their whole hijinks, and then, like, years later, the show comes back as, like, a reboot, and the first episode is all the kids or relatives of all the people that died at the end of the actual series, gets sent like this letter, and then the reboot season comes in. It was a strange letter, which I had no memory of sending, but which had me as the sender. I forgot the destination address, but the named recipient had been Ishiromiya Rudolph. My father. Like, I'm thinking of Degrassi for some reason. That's like where my brain is going. Degrassi. My father. I remember how disturbed I was when I got a letter I thought was from father, opened it up, and found a key and a card that I didn't really understand. I felt let down and threw it away somewhere, I think. Where did I put that envelope? Probably lost it somewhere in the chaos that followed. By now, I have no way of checking its contents. However, I have a general idea. I'm sure the contents were the same. Without a doubt, there had been a key, a card, and a note with a pin inside the envelope. Beatrice. What was she trying to do here? So, did she hand out the stupid money to all the surviving relatives? I won't forgive her for mocking them even after their deaths. Uryu, Angie. Sakataro acted nervously. As I looked at his worrying face, my agitation began to cool off bit by bit. I'm sorry. My hatred of Beatrice isn't anything new. I was just surprised and angry to find out that I had a connection with the witch already, at the age of 6 on that day. For the past 12 years, you've been constantly enslaved by Beatrice Sama's curse. This might be proof of that. A curse. Okay. But please, hang in there. Breaking through that was supposed to be a part of the goal of this journey. That's right. Just letting the blood rise to my head won't get me anywhere. Gotta think calmly. What's going on? What's the meaning of handing out 100 million yen to the relatives? Is she trying to provoke us? Damn that Beatrice. Angie, calm down. Uryu. As Sakataro buried his head in my stomach, he urged me to stay calm. I took another deep breath and started thinking. I wonder if this envelope was sent to support the theory that Beatrice was behind that crime. It was postmarked right before the family conference. And it was intentionally set up so that it would be sent back after some time. They wanted it to arrive after the incident, is that it? Yeah. That's what it implies. But it raises a few questions. Why use such an uncertain method? Uncertain? Yes. After all, no one could even guess at how many days it would take for the mail to return. Mail? Why did I say that weird? Mail to return before you use this trick. Normally, couldn't even guess at the amount of time it would take for the receiving post office to do the research, determine that the recipient was unknown, and return it. Yeah, now that you mention it. It'd be more dependable if they just set an arrival date and mailed it that way. Uryu.
まあでも
Maybe, but still.
前日に投函したんならどんなに早く戻ってきてもきっと月曜日以降の到着になったでしょうし
If they mailed it the day before, then no matter how quickly it returned, it would probably arrive Monday or later.
死者からの手紙を気取りたかったんじゃないかしら
I wonder if they wanted to make it seem like a letter from the dead.
死者からの手紙か
A letter from the dead, you say?
確かにね
You're right.
あれは驚くし嫌な気持ちになるわよ
It surprised me. It made me feel bad.
死んだ家族の名前が表に大きく書かれている郵便物が
Some mail with my dead family's name written on the outside in large letters.
物々しい付箋付きで郵便受けに放り込まれているんだから
Was thrown into the mailbox with an ominous label attached.
でも私は何か腑に落ちないわ
However, it doesn't really make sense to me.
私だったら期日指定郵便にする
I would have mailed it to arrive on a specified day.
ひょっとしたら想定しない日に届くかもしれないという不安定さが私にはどうしても理解できないの
I just can't understand why someone would allow the uncertainty of it arriving on a day other than the one they imagined.
ウリュ
Uryu.
ウでも確かにそういうのベアトらしいかなって思う
But it really does sound like Beato to me.
え
Huh?
あなたベアトのことわかるの
You know about Beato?
ちょっとしかお話ししたことないけど
Well, I only talked with her a little.
でもベアトならこういうことをするかなってのがなんとなくわかるの
Still, I can pretty much accept that Beato would do something like this.
マモンもなんとなく想像がつかない
Can't you imagine that happening too, Mammon?
ベアトってこういういたずら好きだよね
Beato likes pranks like this, right? Dots.
確かにそうかも
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to take a drink there. No, that might be true.
ベアドリージ様なら死者からの手紙みたいな悪質ないたずらはやりかねないと思います
I wouldn't put it past Beatrice-sama to try a vicious prank like a letter from the dead.
それだけじゃなくて
No, that's not all.
絶対確実な方法じゃなくてちょっぴり不確実な方法の方をベアトリーチェは面白がるの
Beatrice would find it more interesting to do it through an uncertain method, instead of one that was absolutely certain.
不確実な方法を面白がる
She would find an uncertain method interesting? I remembered Maria Oni-chan's diary. It had described playing with Beatrice very often. During those times, Beato sometimes played pranks on the adult relatives with Maria. But those pranks always had a touch of witch aesthetics, which was that they were more interesting when they were uncertain. Should I end it here? Let me see. I mean, we just had a... Let's go ahead and call it here. I hit the 2-hour mark that I was originally intending here this afternoon, or not originally intending, that I surprised intended. I'm not sure why, but this discussion feels like it happened more than once before. You mean the discussion between Sakataro, Mammon, and Angie? Did they have a similar discussion? Oh, about Beatrice liking uncertainty just in general. Now that you say that... Now that you say that, yeah. Was it... I don't know, was it like Battler talking about her or something? Maybe I'm just imagining it as well. Maybe it's a shared... Maybe Kinzo? Yeah. God, it's hard because when you say that and it's like, oh, that sounds right. But then if you're trying to get me to like, if I'm trying to like remember like certain like little conversations from, I think I said this last night and then it took me by surprise when I even said it. But like we've started this game now back in March or April Like, it's so crazy that, like, if I was to try to recall something that happened in, like, a short little conversation in, like, months ago in this game, like, my brain has no hope. My poor little brain. No, I get you. I get you. But no, you're right in that. I'm just saying, like, that does sound familiar. Someone talking about Beatrice and how she likes, like, the chaos, basically. But I would not be able to recall, like, oh, who was actually saying that potentially. Yeah. Yeah. We'll save it here. I don't know if this is a full, actually good, like, scene transition or anything. But we'll call it there, because I do have to, I have, like, a hard out at 2, so. Thanks so much for bearing with me as I spur the moment was like, let's just read a little bit of Umineko today. I might be back on later tonight, but if so, it's just going to be Final Fantasy 16. So, that might just be a thing. Separately from this, like as I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the goal is to read at least a couple hours each of those nights. So we'll really maybe possibly advance the plot here even more. Who can say? Who can say? Have a nice... Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys as well. Have a great Sunday. Take it easy, all that jazz. And maybe see you guys at 1 or 2 or 3 times throughout the week for more Umineko. So, until then, have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.